Are you a small or medium-sized exporter struggling to meet international quality and safety standards? In this episode of Consumer Times, we dive deep into the real challenges faced by SME exporters, from meeting regulatory compliance to building consumer trust across borders. We bring you two powerful case studies that demonstrate how embracing standards is not just about compliance, it is about survival, growth, and global credibility. Whether you are in the food sector, manufacturing, or any export-driven industry, this video will give you the insight and direction you need to succeed. Hi, welcome to Consumer Times. In today's hyper-connected global marketplace, small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, account for over 50% of exports from developing economies. Yet, a troubling paradox persists. While these businesses drive economic growth and provide livelihoods for millions, they remain disproportionately vulnerable to quality rejections, safety non-compliances, and accountability failures in international trade. The stakes are high. A single failed shipment, a product recall, or a regulatory penalty can devastate an SME that has spent years building its export reputation. Consumer Times has examined the landscape extensively and found that the journey from local producer to trusted global exporter is one paved with standards, and those who treat standards as strategic tools rather than bureaucratic burdens are the ones who endure and flourish. For small and medium exporters, the challenges of quality, safety, and accountability are not abstract, they are painfully real, daily, and financially consequential. Understanding these challenges is the first step toward overcoming them. International buyers and importing countries demand adherence to a complex web of quality standards: ISO 9001 for quality management systems, ISO 22000 for food safety, HACCP protocols, CE marking for European markets, and countless product-specific technical regulations. For a large multinational, maintaining a dedicated compliance department is routine. For an SME exporter operating with lean teams and limited budgets, achieving and maintaining these certifications is a formidable challenge. The cost of obtaining and renewing international certifications alone can range from $5,000 to $50,000 depending on the industry and the market. Add to this the cost of upgrading production facilities, training workers, and hiring quality inspectors, and the financial burden becomes clear. Many SMEs simply do not know where to begin, lack access to technical experts, or operate in regions where standards infrastructure, testing labs, certification bodies, government advisory services is underdeveloped. Product safety is non-negotiable in global trade. Importing countries maintain rigorous surveillance systems. The EU's RAPEX, the US FDA's Import Alert System, and China's CNCA are just a few. When products fail safety tests at the border, the consequences are severe: immediate rejection of the shipment, destruction of goods, import bans, and public blacklisting of the exporting company. For SMEs, a single safety failure can mean losing years of hard-earned market access. The root causes of safety non-compliance in SME exports include inadequate raw material testing, poor process controls, inconsistent packaging and labeling, and lack of traceability systems. Without a documented and auditable safety management system, SMEs are essentially operating on trust and luck, neither of which satisfies a serious international buyer or regulator. Modern consumers and institutional buyers demand full supply chain transparency. They want to know where a product was made, what it contains, how it was processed, and who is responsible at every step. Traceability systems, barcoding, blockchain-based tracking, batch documentation, and supplier audits are now baseline expectations rather than premium features. For SME exporters accustomed to informal supply chain relationships and paper-based records, this demand for digital, auditable accountability is a significant operational leap. When accountability systems are absent, the consequences extend beyond individual companies. Entire sectors and countries of origin can be blacklisted or subjected to enhanced scrutiny, harming thousands of producers who had nothing to do with the original failure. Two cases that show standards show the way. In 2017, a mid-sized Kenyan tea processing company with annual revenues of approximately $3.2 million faced a devastating blow when a major shipment of 40 metric tons of black tea was rejected at a European port. The rejection was based on pesticide residue levels that exceeded the EU's maximum residue limits, MRLs, a standard the company had been unaware of in its full technical detail. The financial loss exceeded $180,000, nearly wiping out that quarter's profits. Rather than retreating from the European market, the company's management made a bold strategic decision. They would use standards as their recovery roadmap. With support from Kenya's Export Promotion Council and a partnership with a local certification body, they undertook a comprehensive overhaul of their quality management system. They adopted ISO 22000, mapped every step of their supply chain from tea garden to processing factory to export packaging, implemented rigorous pesticide monitoring of incoming leaf material, and introduced electronic batch tracking. Within 18 months, the company had achieved full EU compliance and was readmitted to the European market. More significantly, their investment in standards opened doors that rejection had briefly closed. Two German specialty tea importers, attracted by the company's verifiable traceability documentation and clean audit records, awarded them long-term supply contracts. By 2022, the company's revenues had grown to $6.8 million, more than double their pre-rejection level. The lesson is clear: standards compliance is not merely a barrier to cross, it is a competitive advantage to claim. The Kenyan company's story demonstrates that SMEs can rebuild from compliance failures and emerge stronger, provided they treat the experience as a catalyst for systemic improvement rather than an isolated setback. The second case takes us to a small spice processing unit in Rajasthan, India, with a workforce of just 45 employees and annual revenues of around $800,000 in 2016. The company had been exporting ground spices, turmeric, cumin, coriander, to Middle Eastern and Southeast Asian markets through intermediary traders. While the business was functional, the company had little direct visibility into how its products were performing with end buyers, and margins were thin because the traders captured most of the value. A pivotal moment came when the company's owner attended an industry seminar where a food safety consultant described the growing global concern over adulteration and contamination in the spice trade. Reports of Sudan dye contamination, heavy metal presence, and salmonella in ground spices had been making international headlines, and regulatory authorities in the EU, US, and Gulf Cooperation Council, GCC, countries were tightening their inspection protocols dramatically. Recognizing both the risk and the opportunity, the company invested approximately $120,000 over 2 years in upgrading its processing facility to meet FSSC 2200 standards, the Global Food Safety System certification specifically recognized by the Global Food Safety Initiative, GFSI. They installed metal detectors, introduced allergen management protocols, digitized their incoming raw material testing logs, and trained every employee in food safety practices. They also obtained an organic certification for a portion of their product line. The returns were transformational. By achieving FSSC 2200 certification, the company gained direct access to supermarket chains and health food retailers in the UK and Germany, bypassing the intermediary traders entirely. Their certified safety credentials also enabled them to command a 25 to 35% price premium compared to non-certified competitors. By 2023, revenues had grown to $3.1 million, the workforce had expanded to 110 employees, and the company had become a recognized brand in the premium ethnic spice segment across European markets. This case illustrates a powerful truth. For SME exporters, safety standards are not just protective shields, They are market entry tools that can fundamentally transform a business model, unlock premium pricing, and enable direct relationships with high value buyers. The global marketplace is both demanding and rewarding. For small and medium exporters, the path to sustained success runs directly through quality, safety, and accountability. That's it for today on Consumer Times. If you found this valuable, please like this video, share it with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Drop your thoughts in the comments, let us know. We read every single comment. See you in the next one. These are not obstacles imposed by distant regulators, they are the shared language of trust between producers and consumers across the world. As our two case studies demonstrate, when SMEs embrace standards with commitment and strategic intent, they do not just survive, they grow, they prosper, and they build legacies that benefit their workers, their communities, and their nations. Standards, indeed, show the way.